It's funny. There was I saw this thing on Twitter. Some broad, some like SJW Twitch streamer video game broad. Someone had retweeted some tweet she made where she was like mad that our anime, like the Reddit anime board, was engaging in like casual Holocaust denial. Where she said like, "Oh, they're celebrating some wealthy Japanese guy who's also like a known Holocaust denier and making excuses for him." They were like, because he was doing something that they liked, and she's like, they're making excuses for him. They're saying it's not relevant that he's a Holocaust denier. It's like, and she was so mad that all these people in our anime were like, didn't care about it. Or were just like, whatever, he can have his own views. Like, they were being libertarian about it. And then she said, and then as the thread went on, you started to see people start posting about how the whole thing was exaggerated. And she's like freaking out. And I'm like, look, lady, I don't know like what world you've lived in, but like this is normal shit, okay? Like,
yeah, you just like uncorked it.
Yeah, this is normal stuff. Like when the Holocaust comes up on the internet, where people feel they have some degree of anonymity, they're absolutely. I have never seen it come up where there weren't people like, yeah, that's some bullshit. Like almost rare. You never get like
unmoderated spaces. That's where you
unmoderated, but even moderated spaces, people just like risk it. And then what happened was she was saying like after contacting the admins of the board, I got the thread locked. It's like, wow, you're a fucking hero.
Wow, you're a hero.
You fucking stopped fascism.
Thank God. Look at you defended the poor Jews from
the fucking Jews. Wow. The richest people in the world.
Nobody ever
glad you came rushing to their defense.
Just powerless.
Look at how well you stopped racism and fascism in one single move. And it's just like, it's just so fucking tiresome, dude.
Well, don't start posting about it. I
like the idea
that headway is being made.
Oh no, headway is being made, but I love it when you find somebody who's totally like conformist in their thinking, like an SJW type, who basically the SJW, as we talk about the hall monitor, they're basically like the goody two shoes of clown world. Mm-hmm. They're the people that kiss up and suck up to every narrative. And of course, the Holocaust is the mother of all of these narratives.
Yes.
So they love the Holocaust, and it's funny when they run into like casual. It wasn't even vehement. It was just people like not caring. People like not caring, and then the not caring proceeded from. And then someone was saying, "Well, whenever somebody says they don't care about it, that means they're really a denier. Like they actually they're denier, but they don't feel like getting into it."
How dare you not care about the Holocaust in the first place? I mean, this is the most important like organizational. It's the organizing principle of humanity right now.
Yes,
or
preventing another Holocaust,
Western civilization. it's like this is the like everything in their power is wrapped up around not having another one. Because anytime they don't like something, it's like, oh God, this is what led to the first one. It's going to happen again. When people like this are in power, when things like this are said, when things like this are done, that's how you end up with gas chambers and. I was like, well, maybe you should stop doing the things that lead to somebody wanting to do the things that lead. They never think of that, but it's like this is.
I mean, well, they can't stop that. I mean, no, but it's also just like. I mean, it's so funny how unbelievable the whole fucking thing is.
Yeah, it just really is amazing.
It's like show that video to like millions of people and be like, "You still believe in this shit?" Or you think
they're not showing it anymore? I mean, that's been removed from YouTube, and it wasn't. It's not like we have like a report squad that can get that done. No. That was voluntarily taken down.
Yeah, well, because they know like this. Well, this is a bad look. Like this is gonna, and of course, the cope most people would do would be like, "Well, this lady is the one." It's like, why do we hear so much about these so-called survivors that ended up actually lying or exaggerating? Because occasionally this does happen. Mm-hmm. And the Yad Vashem themselves like calls these people out, and they do it because they want to be the ones to do it, so somebody else doesn't do it, and that way they retain essentially ownership and control of the whole thing.
Yeah,
and they have to know they're lying, and the shit like this. Like you remember, the whole story is based on interviews like that, like the one you just saw. That's where they constructed the whole story of the Holocaust from. They don't have evidence. They don't have documentary or physical evidence of it. It is reconstructed from interviews with survivors.
It is based on a true story.
All of whom
Think about the
have
license they take with that in Hollywood. Think about the license they take with history.
Yeah. And all these people have a clear incentive to make it seem as bad and as harrowing as possible.
Yep.
There's so much historical difference, so they're basically trying to turn this to like a form of mythology. Like this is like got to become part of your nation's like mythos.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need to be like an ever-present background program running in your mind, no matter what's happening, so that you know that like when you get too far into your own people's interests, it's like, well, you have to stop now because it's show time. It's like you've gone too far in securing your border. You've gotten too exclusive in your desires for who you want to be around and who you want to let in and out of your vicinity there. So now you're kind of like the Nazis were, and it's time to stop. And by the way,
I mean, it's effective.
Drag Queen Story Hour is next weekend. You know, it's like that's how that goes. So.